Today's video is going to be divided into four different sections, right? The first one, it's telling you what externship is about, what law school externship is about. The second one is showing you samples of my logbook, my personal logbook. I had to do this video when I still have my documents intact because I wanted to do it when we go back to school, but I just felt like we'll not have our logbook by then and school will be very busy for me. Right, so I'm going to show you a sample of how to fill your logbooks. That's the second thing. The third thing we're going to be doing, I'll be telling you my own personal experience throughout the externship, both for the court attachments and the chambers attachments. And the last thing we're going to be doing today is I'll be showing you documents and everything you're required to bring back to school after the externship period. So I know you are really interested in this particular video, and even if you're not a law student, you can just watch, maybe you can learn something. So let's get into the video properly. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Ifnaya Immaculata. Welcome to my channel. Make sure you subscribe and let this not be your last time. And if you're a returning subscriber, how do you do, bestie? So today, from the title of the video, you already know what we're here for, and it's going to be a very quick one because this video was highly requested for, and that's why I'm making these videos for my law school besties that will come across this video. So the first thing you're going to do for me, if you come across this video and you're a law student and you have friends, you have group chats, you have people that's about to go on their externship, and you have people that will still want to go for their externship, just help me forward this particular message. You can click on the link, forward it to your friends, send it to your different group chats because it will be very, very helpful to every one of you guys. So the first thing you need to know about externship is that it has two different segments, or two different sections rather. There is the court attachment and there is the chambers attachment. That's law office attachment, right? The court attachment lasts for a period of 5 weeks, and the law office attachment lasts for a period of 5 weeks as well, right? So the first one you're going to be going for is the court attachments. This is more like law school posting you to different courts and different law offices to have like a practical aspect of what you've been learning in class, to see and experience a practical aspect of what you've been learning in class rather. So court attachment now and chamber attachment, the only difference, or the difference rather, is that in court attachment you're just going to court without any clue, like you're clueless as to what you're going to meet in court for that particular day. You get, like, you're going to court, anything you see you take. If it is judgment, if it is appeal, if it is, you just basically see so many things in court, right? But in chambers you're coming with a law firm, so you already have an opportunity of having or getting to know what you guys are going to court to do for that particular day, right? One of my friends that extend in Abuja, she said they didn't go to court during law office attachment, but I personally went to court during my law office attachment, and I can tell you that the difference there is that when you're going to court, you already know what you're going there to do, you already know who you are going with, you already know the cases your firm is going with. So you're not just going to court to go and sit down and look and write from different firms, right? You're going to listen to every other person and as well listen to what your own firm is going for. When you're leaving, you know that, okay, we're going to go and bail somebody, we're going to go and move a motion for bail, we're going to go and get judgment, you're going to go and hear a motion, just different things you get basically. So that's the difference between the two of them, right? So I'm going to start with the court attachment. So the court attachment is the first attachment you're going to do or go for once you start your externship. I'm going to talk based on my experience in Adamawa State because I did my both court and chamber attachment in Adamawa State, right? So I'm going to be talking from my own personal experience. So the court starts to sit around 9, right? So you're supposed to be in court as a legal practitioner. You're supposed to be in court at least 30 minutes before the time. So basically by 8:30 you're supposed to be in court, right? Because the court starts to sit around 9. Then the judge will sit and start hearing cases, and I don't know, basically I don't know how many cases like they hear in other states, so I'm just talking about Adamawa basically, right? So in a day you can see like up to 10 cases. You can come a particular day and it's just 2 cases, like it's just not very static, like it changes, you get. So most times the court starts by 9, and before 10:11 we are done from court. That's for Adamawa, right? And in some other states the court starts by 9 and they are still there till 4 p.m. That's for other states, so I'm just talking about Adamawa. So basically we go to court by 8. and then by 9 court start to sit. They call cases, and we're just basically in court listening to cases, jotting down things you're observing, writing down the time and everything, the time they call the first case, time they call the second case, and everything that is happening in court. And before, let's say, latest 1 p.m. we are done, but most of the other days we're always done before 11, 12 p.m., right? Once we're done from court, we basically either go to court of appeal library to read, or we just go home, right? Because the law procedure or the proceedings here, or the processes here in Adamawa State is not as strict as other states, right? So when the court stops sitting, like once the judge leaves the court, in less than 30 minutes, the whole place is already empty. Do you get? So there's no point of you sitting back and waiting, because there's nobody basically to sit down for and wait with. Do you get? So once they finish from court, we just go to the library. Then from library, we go home. That's like the routine for court. So the court attachment didn't really have like so many activities, because we are not really flowing with the cases. You might just come to case and you are seeing two lawyers arguing, and you don't even know the fact of the case, like where the case started from. Like you're just so lost. You're just watching and observing and filling your logbook and learning as well, because you have to learn, right? So during after the court attachments, after the 5 weeks of court attachments, you have a week break, right? After the 1 week break, you're going to start your chamber attachments. Chamber attachment is where you get posted to chambers, and then you have to like work with them. Basically what you're looking for in chamber attachment is for you to like get in contact with clients, like clients that come to the law office, know how to take clients brief, know how to prepare your clients for examination, cross examination, and stuff like that, know how to prepare your clients to tender documents in court, just basically to like know how to everything about client interviews and stuff like that. That's why you're getting posted to a chamber, right? But then during the process of getting in contact with the clients, you also have to, in some chambers, go to court, right? Because most times it depends on the firm you get posted to. The firm I was posted to, they have a lot of cases like every single day, right? So we always go to court every day to like go and listen to what is going to go on in court and stuff like that. It's still part of the process, because most of these clients still follow us to court, and then they do the cross examination and stuff like that. So you just basically watch and observe. For chambers attachments, we go to work around 8 a.m., because by 8:30, I'm talking about Adamawa State, please. So if you have any other opinion from another state, I don't really know, right? So I'm just talking about where I extend. So we have to go to work by 8, because by 8:30 we're going to be attached to a lawyer that you go to work with, right? You will have a case different. We were like 3 extends and like 4 interns, right? When we get to chambers in the morning, we get attached to different lawyers. There were like 7 lawyers in my firm, right? So we get attached to different lawyers. Different lawyers, they have different courts that they're going to in a particular day. So when you're going to court, you have to check the case file, know the name of the case, know what you are going for, because most times it's written on top of the case file. After court sitting, it's basically that same court process that you experienced in the court attachment, right? But this time around, like you're closer to the case, because you already know the facts, you know what is happening. You can ask questions even when you're confused. You have someone to ask. But during the court attachment, there's nobody to ask, basically, because once the lawyers are done with their case, they're leaving the court, right? After the sitting in court, after the particular sitting for your case, this time around you don't have to stay in court throughout the day. Once your chamber is done with their matter, you go back to the chambers, right? You go back to the chambers. Sometimes they ask us to draft things. Some other times, if there's any client, we can like sit and observe. So basically, that's what you're going to do. Then you go back to chambers. If they have time for you guys, they can call you guys. Because in my own turn, every single day we meet with our principals. Like, you ask us what we observed for the day, if you have any questions, if you have any confusions, like we discuss with him every single day, right? So basically it's you go to work, from work to court, from court back to chambers, right? From chambers you meet your principal, you draft. Some firms give assignments and stuff. So basically it depends on where you get posted to. My friend that was posted to Abuja said they never went to court, right? They were always in the chamber. So it can be basically go to chambers, then from chambers you remain in chambers and just do stuffs in the chamber, and then you go home. So basically that's it. So one advice I'm going to give you is, when you are going for your court and chamber attachments, try and fill your logbook every single day. don't pile it up, don't leave it for the weekend, because you will get affected very badly, right? And the fact you're going to give your personal opinion as to each particular day makes the work more stressful, because imagine giving an opinion and you're just flipping to give opinion, like you will run out of opinions. I mean, you're not even a lawyer yet, so you won't find your opinion from. Do you get? So it's better as the days going by, you're writing it into your logbook and you're making your opinions and you're moving on to the next day. So this part two now is to show you guys sample of what the logbooks look like and how to fill your logbooks. So I'm going to be using my own logbook as an example, right? And I'm going to be reading out at least one page of it for you guys to see how I fill in my logbook and what I reflect on for the day. So this is what the logbook for your court attachment looks like. And this is the logbook for your chamber attachment, right? The blue one is for the chamber and the green one is for the courts. Try as hard as possible not to mix it up. Don't go and write for your courts in the blue one and write for the chambers in the green one. You get, the green one is for courts and the blue one is for chambers, right? So I'm going to be starting with the courts attachment because that was the first one we did. So I'm going to be reading out a page. This is, I don't know if you can see, but like, yeah, so let me read out a page for you guys to like see how I write it. Not like I'm reading out everything she gets. So my day one, the first day of court attachment, at 8:15 a.m. I arrived at the High Court Adamawa State on the 27th of May 2024. At 9:37 a.m. the matter came up before the presiding judge. The case was between, you write the name of the persons that you have the case for, like, because when they will announce the, after each sitting in court, right, they will, you will go and ask for a cost list. A cost list, that's like where they list out the cases for the day. The sample I have is actually from my law firm, right, but it's still the same thing. I think it still works for courts, so let me just show you guys. It's not as detailed or neat as this, but it's just something like this, right? This one now I showed you guys is for my law firm and it is for the week, so it's different from the courts. Courts one is just for the day. The case was between the council's announced appearance for the parties in court. The case was adjourned previously for the defendants to serve the plaintiff with their statement of defense. The defendant's counsel informed the court that due to some circumstances, there were some vital documents they couldn't come up with, and hopefully they come up with it by the 27th of June. The defendant's counsel pleaded the court to grant an adjournment for time for them to get the required documents ready to serve the plaintiff. The judge granted the adjournment to the date requested for by the defendant's counsel. That was like the end of the first case. So basically, in a day, there can be like so many cases. So like in my logbook here for the first day, I have like 3 different cases, right? This is the first one, this is the second one, and this is the third one. So I like leave spaces in between, like a line before I start for the next case. And then when the next case starts, you have to write at the particular time it started, right? The case was, second case was called up between, then you write the details, then the third one as well, at the particular time the third case was called up, then at the end of each day you sign, you write your name and you sign, right? So that's basically, because I can't start reading everything out. This second part, the second page of your logbook, is where you have to reflect or write your reflections for the day. So I'm going to be reading out my day one reflection, right? So start with, it is safe to say that what we are being taught in theory is very different from the practical aspect of law practice in Nigeria. I observed that many lawyers weren't ready to represent their clients according to the rules of professional conduct laid out for legal practitioners. Some of the lawyers were absent in court without any reason at all, and some others appeared in court to ask the court to grant them adjournments because they were yet to file one document or to serve another. The judge at a point asked a counsel for how long he wants the court to keep adjourning the particular matter, and it wasn't a good sight to see because that particular case has been in court for over 3 years. The rules of professional conduct in Rules 14 and 16 provided that lawyers are to represent their clients competently and diligently, and also to observe due devotion to the cause of their clients. In practice, this isn't strictly observed, as the lawyers barely showed devotion nor diligence in representing their clients, given the fact that some of them were absent in court without any notification nor reasons. I hope to see and have better experiences as to the observance of the principles in the rules of professional conduct by the lawyers in practice, and it's a wrap. The judge is supposed to sign here, right? So every judge have like their own particular method. It can be like every Friday everybody will put their own together, because you won't be the only extern in the particular court. Maybe on Fridays every extern will bring their logbooks together and the judge will sign and give it back on Monday. Or anyhow, if you meet your judge every day and he signs every day, fine. But our own was on Fridays. That's when they only have the time to sign our logbooks for us, right? So that is that for the court attachment. I can't read out everything. Then the second one is for the chambers law office attachments, right? I made sure I tried my best to fill in my work every single day so I don't have to carry it over or anything like that. So I'm going to read out a page as well for my chamber attachments logbook. I arrived at my chambers at 8:05 a.m. and at 8:30 a.m. I was assigned to my principal, Barrister Sule J. Abu, together with Barrister P.T. Umimakinde and Barrister W.N. Bello. Like, you have to write the names of the person they attached you to for the day, right? So there were three lawyers, two lawyers plus my principal that went to court that particular day. So I had to like reflect their names in my logbook as well. So I attended to a matter at the High Court 7 Adamawa State. At 9:25 a.m., our case was called up. If you notice now, there's a difference in the court attachment logbook. It said the first case was called up, right? But this time around, it's our case because it is the case we came for with your chamber. Do you understand? So our case was called up between da 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 da. Our principal announced appearance for the third defendant. The counsel for the defendant informed, because when you hear third defendant, that means there's other counsels for different defendants, right? So the counsel for the defendant, as one of the defendants, informed the court that the matter was slated for hearing of the motion filed by one of the defendants. The motion was read and moved in terms as there was no objection. The case was adjourned to the 21st of October 2024. Right, for this chambers attachment, you don't really need to dwell on what happened in court, except there's something spectacular that happens, right? So you don't really need to be detailed, because what they want from you basically is what happened in the chambers, right? So I called up because that particular day we went for 3 different cases. So like I wrote for the 3 different cases. At the second case at 9:39 a.m., our second case was called up between Chigets. So like basically like that. So after the whole 3 cases, back at the chambers, we were asked to spot out a wrong amended statement on oath of the witnesses, and we also had a very long conversation with our principal. We were dismissed for the day by 4 p.m. Right, then I'll sign, same thing, you sign and write your name down here. So my reflection for the day: today I experienced an ethical dilemma in court. In the second case, the counsel for the defendant was highly unprofessional in his dealings, and I was more disappointed as he was a senior counsel at the bar. I don't know why I opened this, but I don't know why it's this particular page my hand went to. He kept on speaking in harsh tones and got very aggressive with the claimant's counsel. He kept pointing out the fact that they are not mates, and the judge and everyone present were so embarrassed at such display. This act of the counsel is against the provisions of the rules of professional conduct, specifically Rule 26, which provides for good fellowship and precedence among lawyers. It explains that lawyers have an equal ground and should be treated on such grounds of equality. It is rather appalling that such behavior is coming from a man with so much experience at the bar. Back at our chambers, we had a lot of questions to ask our principal, and one of the explanations to us was as regards the difference between statements of claim and particulars of claim. The statement of claim is used in the High Court, and a party's evidence must flow from his statement of claim. Any evidence that is not in statement of claim is deemed as no issue because it is not pleaded. But in area court, the particulars of claim is used. The evidence here is different from the particulars. Hence, the evidence does not need to flow from the particulars of claim. The evidence can flow on its own, and it will still be valid. The statement of claim is binding on the parties, but particulars of claim is not binding on the parties. That's like my reflection for the day, right? So that's basically how you have to be reflecting every particular day. You got to court by this time, and by this time you were attached, and by this time the first case, your case was called up, the second case was called up by this time. This is what happened. It was adjourned. The judge read judgments, so many things, just basically anything you can write for the day. Then at the end of each day, you reflect, and then your principal partner will have to sign at the end of each one. So over to the third section or segment of this video. So the first thing I have to tell you is that first impression matters. So this is more like you getting a job, right? So you have to be properly and well behaved, well mannered, and all that, because that is going to add to the assessment your principal will give you at the end of the extension program. Some course attachments require, like some campuses require students bringing back forms from courts, like assessment form from their courts, but our campus did not do that. So we only have an assessment form from our principal in our chambers. So when you are starting your chamber attachment and even courts, you have to be properly behaved, you have to be punctual, you have to be well mannered, you have to relate with them very well. You have to just have a very welcoming heart. This is the first time you're working with people. I don't know if you have worked with people before, but like this was my first experience working with people. And to be very honest, it was very, very exquisite. It was very beautiful, right? So when I started my court attachment, I didn't really have like so much experience. It was more like a routine, like go to courts, go to library, come back to the house. And sometimes our judge wants like meet with us, discuss with us. I did my court attachment in High Court 3, Adamawa State, right? So our judge, most times he has conversations with us, some other times he doesn't. I go to court and today they are reading judgments, tomorrow they are granting bail, the next day they're moving motion. So like so many things basically. So like there's not like any personal attachment, right? There's nobody I'm really answering to. It's just appear, write attendance, be in court, have your personal experience, learn, fill your logbook and stuff like that. But for the chambers attachment, which is my major storyline, right? Because this is my personal experience part, I was posted to Suleje Abul Solid Rock Chambers, right? And to be very honest, it was the best experience I've ever had in Yola. The principal was very welcoming. Not just the principal, everybody in the chambers were very welcoming. It was more like my second home because from the first day I got there, they welcomed me so well. One of the lawyers there took me around the chambers, like show me the different segments, even told me, started listing like the lawyers' names, showing me their tables and stuff like that. Like it was just very nice. Then each day I come to work, they attach us to a lawyer. We go to court with the person. Most of the lawyers there, not most, all the lawyers there are very friendly because all the time I went to um court with them, you can ask them questions. Even without asking the question, they will turn to you and be like, do you understand what just happened? Like, it's very rare to see, right? Lawyers that want to relate with you, even though you have like little or no experience yet. They want to turn and ask you, do you understand what just happened? Okay, look at what happened. This is why the judge said this. This is why the judge said that. We are sitting for our second case. I was able to experience so many things sitting in chambers, like the judge hearing a case in chambers and the judge hearing a case in the actual court. I was able to experience bail. I was able to file processes for the particular sitting for the day. So many things, like I was actually involved, like personally, like I gained a lot of experience working with those people because they're very nice. You will hear so many contrasting stories from other law firms, like even in the same building that I was in, there's many other law firms there. And when I meet like my colleagues and I'm telling them that, okay, I filed a process today, they are like, file a process. How did you do that? Because nobody's carrying them along in their own chamber. So when you are praying to be posted, pray that you get posted to a chamber that has a welcoming spirit that will actually teach you and where you would learn, right? As you heard when I was reading my logbook, my reflection, right? We have daily conversation with our principal. Like he was always available. The man is a good man, to be very honest. He was always available for us. You can ask him questions, observations. Even if you don't have questions, he will ask you questions to be sure you understood what happened in court today. Like every single day, he gives everybody equal opportunity. He doesn't even tell us, okay, you have limited time. Let's just do this fast and he will literally shut out every other business he has, listen to us, answer our questions, teach us in the way we understand, like break it down for us, like the way you will really understand as students. Like he's not giving it to you a professional basis, like he's teaching you, he's using professional terms actually, but he will break it down. He's like a lecturer and he's a barrister and he's a father because he really trained us like very well, right? So I'm not going to like sit on this particular chamber experience because I feel like this video is already getting lengthy. Definitely, I'm going to miss the man. We will miss him because he's a very nice man. He gave us transport fare for every single day we went to chamber. So I know like so many other persons cannot relate because it's something that is rare. right? At the end of our externship, he took us out on a lunch date. We went out with him, we ate, took pictures. It was just a very nice experience for me. And I would really tell anyone out there to really hope they get posted to that particular chambers. And if you're going there, go with a very open and welcoming spirit. Don't go there and cause confusion, please. So that's that for my experience. It was very worth it. I was able to learn a lot. I was able to grow. Like I know like so many things I didn't even have any idea of. Now I have like at least a very reasonable amount of knowledge about it. And I can proudly say I went for externship. Do you get? So let's get to the last phase of this particular video because it's already very long. So I'm going to be showing you guys the particulars, the documents, everything you need to bring back when coming back for your externship generally, for every campus actually. So you have to bring back your logbook, the blue one. You have to bring back the green one for the courts. You have to bring back this letter. This is an assessment letter from the principal. So every principal that you worked with in your chamber, your law office attachment must give you a letter. This is directed to Director General, Nigerian Law School, Buhari, Abuja, right? Evaluation of external form. So it's going to evaluate, assess you. If you are bad behaved, if you are late, if you're not committed to what you're doing, it will reflect here. And one thing about this letter is going to be sealed. If you notice, mine is sealed. I can't open it. And to even make it worse, he stamped it with his official stamp. So you can't tear it. What they told us in school is that when you're coming back, if they notice any debt, any form of anything at all that like shows that you've tampered with it in any way, it's going to affect your marks, right? So it has to be sealed properly. So the main thing you have to do to get this done is that you have to make sure you have a very good relationship with your principal, right? So you will get assessed in a good way. Just be good. It pays off to be a good person. So you basically don't need to go there and pretend. Just be good generally, right? So you will get this. This is one of the things you have to bring back. Make sure you don't forget it because it's very vital for your portfolio assessment when you get back to school, right? Then you have to get your attendance form. This is the attendance from my chambers. For every day you go to court, you're supposed to have an attendance, and your principal will sign and stamp. I don't know if the stamp is very necessary or meaning too much, right? But I just had to like make sure I get everything done to like, avoid problems and avoid going back. Even though like where I'm going back to is just here, but just for you, maybe you will travel far and wide for your externship. So just come back with your attendance form for both courts and chambers, right? So they know the number of persons they assign to a particular court. So basically, it's just safe that every single person that was attached to that chambers or that court signs, and you have your own copy and bring it back. Your chambers attachment, have your principal sign it, or maybe the secretary or anybody. Just make sure it's signed, and your court attachment, the registrar of the court must sign. You get. Then this is just like an extra. In my chamber, they gave it to us. The cost list I showed you guys before. They just said we should just have it so it will be easy for us to like know which particular case we went for in a particular day and stuff like that. As long as you personally wrote things down in your logbook, I don't think there's a way they will ask you any question that you won't really know. And with the experience and the knowledge I gained from like being in contact with my principal and stuff, I feel like, and plus reading, because I mean throughout the extension you have to read. I feel like there's not really any question they will ask you that you really know, except you're tensed. So try and kill the tension and don't be scared, basically. So I'll be leaving this advice for you guys. Once you start with your externship, don't be saying there's time. I still have time. Start reading immediately because along the line you will get tired. You will definitely get tired, right? So like that ginger to read every day comes in the beginning of externship. So please just utilize it. So towards that time that you're getting tired, you know, okay, maybe it's past questions that you're now working on, or MCQs, or maybe it's just few topics left. Get, because it's going to be like a lot of work for you guys. So thank you so much for watching this particular video. Don't forget to share this video to your group chats, your different law school group chats, and to your friends as well. Spread it around because every single person in law school will be needing this video. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.